Okay, hi everyone. So if you're here, you are probably interested in the topic of holding space through music. So I'm going to be opening the space. Oh, sorry. Wait, can I just get my iPad just in case I need it? Yeah, okay. So yeah, good to see some of you haven't seen you or felt you in maybe not just for some of you it's been weeks, but for some it's been much, much longer, maybe a year or so. Um, yeah, it seems like we've got a group for sure. Um, yeah, so I'm going to be opening the space. I may not be able to join the whole time, primarily because I need to go on a long drive in about 4 hours. I need to travel to another part of Palawan for an important meeting. Um, But this is community led, so this is really good practice for us to just have a conversation around many things that are already in practice. I've been doing this, as you know, for quite a while, for 18 years. And there's really quite a lot there. But I would say a lot of the ways we're doing things, including me, it's not really established, it's not institutionalized, so there's always so much to discover. So bringing things into conversation helps us to unravel some of the things that are not always easy to explain. We've done so many workshops in Maya or across the world regarding what it means to work with music and technology and systems. But there's always going to be so much more. Let me meditate on the screens stuff. I have some really basic raw thoughts in my brain super early in the morning. And hopefully maybe this gives some ideas. Okay, what is that? Give some ideas on what could be uh, yeah, interesting things to bring up. Wait, what is that? Not a notebook. I've never seen these before. It's like new. Okay, let's just open something. Okay, so it's interesting to perceive the connections between these two. Like music amplifies or modifies energy, and then energy also shifts to music. So if there wasn't energy, music would be quite bland or flat. Music and energy independently or together bring about common things. There's frequency or vibration in both music and energy, but there might also be like a lot of power, emotions. Um, there's definitely quite a lot of information um, passing through that we access. I think interestingly today we would bring up that music and energy somehow brings about like a sense of structure either in form, you know. Normally that's how we accord structure, but in inner dance, structure would come about in a sense of flow, like an energy flow, like information or structure moving across a space. Um, so maybe that's maybe a basic um, understanding. Just a moment. I think we need to ask people to mute. There might be some people who are unmuted, and I can hear some static. It might be hard for some people to focus. I saw some people unmuted when I before I did the share screen. I can't go back easily. So maybe this is like a basic way of understanding. When we look at musicless energy in terms of space holding, the more basic methodologies would be to maybe manipulate music that is built by other people, like producers, DJs, musicians, songwriters. Manipulation would be more deconstructive in a way. Another avenue we can go into is we have the power to produce. When we manipulate, we act more as DJs, but when we produce, then we act more as music producers. So we can go into the process of channeling sound, and in that sense, we can actually produce the sound, combination of sounds. So when we handle applications, programs, or musical instruments, in a way we are musical producers. So I think the question is like, from where are we? Just a moment, I'm just going to do the mute myself. Okay, Mario, you're one of them. And let me see who else is unmuted. Jimmy, you're also unmuted. Yeah, we can just hear some sounds. You may not hear it. I think that's it. All right. So go back to the screen. All right. So I guess like one interesting thing to ask in the long term is, from where are we producing from? Where are we channeling from? Where are we deconstructing from? And those dimensions would define perspectives, frameworks, techniques that would have implications in the long term. I think one interesting framing to look at this from in the super long term is that we are producing music and energy from points in history, and also points in what might be anti-historical, which should be more spatial or geographic. So we're still bound by something called time and space. Yeah. And there's a historicity, particularly when we consider time, the element of time. We're working with time. We're changing time signatures. We're changing the rhythm of the music, which alters heartbeats, brainwaves, vibrations in people in general. So when we then bring about explorations in the historicity in people's energy fields, which is also people's lives, we bring them back, we bring them forward, we bring them to ancient time zones, we bring them into future, into the future. There's evolution happening there. There's change happening there from an evolutionary space. So evolution has dimensions. Let's write that down. There's dimensionality in evolution, and we actually visit upon various dimensions in the human experience. So when you create music, when you become the music producer, let's use that role. Let's put that hat on. Yeah, let's say you're the music producer, and music is tantamount to energy. So you're an energy producer. You're creating an energy production house. The dimensionality will matter, and in a way, you might want to tap into both time and space. So it would be good to understand how both of these are quite active. Okay, so I want to think about evolution with you then for now, like evolution, change, like slow or fast change happening through periods or durations in time. So when you think about dimensionality, you might also think about media or the medium in which information is conveyed or sent from. Like, how is information transmitted? Excuse me. In the human expression or ways of communicating, mediums are important. So the two big stages in our evolution as a species would be considered through these elements. One would be considered through orality or oral tradition, and the other would be through literacy. Okay, to describe this, our minds and our psychologies, our cultures, were deeply influenced by the way we had learned to, so let's say, to speak. When we learn to speak, and then when we learn to listen, there's a vast difference as to when we also learn how to read. Let's say no, here it's how to write, which is more expressive, and the cognitive would be more to read. Okay. I'm sorry. Someone's still unmuted. If you could check your settings and if you could mute, then we aren't hearing some of the background noises that you're channeling. Maybe I can just, sorry, I will assign maybe someone to help to curate space. Carol, maybe if you're sitting down somewhere, I'll make you co-host, and if you could help to check who might be streaming like, sounds. I can still hear it. Okay, back to sharing. Thank you. It's okay. I think Aranza said it might have been her. Okay, so there are orality stages in the evolution of human, and there are also literacy stages in the evolution of human, all of which are important in the way information is stored and transmitted. And why am I bringing this up? This might have come up in some of our study processes in past trainings. Orality would be a dimension people work through when they DJ live. Okay, a lot of the elements that comprise oral tradition would be that which you tap into when you are reproducing or reconstructing music on the go, like live on the spot in real time. And then when you work within the studio, then there are elements in literacy that you would also be interacting with. Okay, when you read and when you write, there's an interiorization of thought that's not as public, social, not so context-based. It's more to do with the inner codes, it's more abstract. Like you have to work more, I would say, in space, in your own space, as opposed to when you are working with orality, you are more time bound. Things are more sequential. Things are happening one at a time, and you need to work within the parameters of like the clock, as opposed to being able to slow down time when you are working with space. So today, we're going to be working more with this as opposed to this. We are doing a call next week that's more to do with Ableton Live, with Logic Pro, with Audacity, with Bitwig. Today, we're going to be working more with what's available and what is there. Okay, so what is the difference then between orality and literacy? For one, orality is if I was to go straight to the point or to the heart of it, I didn't think this through. This is just coming up on the spot. There's an immediacy in the element of working in time that is in space, less immediate. Space deals a lot with mediation. There's a mediacy in working in space, in a way that there's a lot of mediators, in a way that the mediation is happening through the the let's say the musical output, for example. So when you work within a studio, you can construct something. Let's say you call it a playlist, and it's something that was recorded, because this is what reading and writing did. Any technology that was able to store information outside of the individual and was able to take the sound and was able to even construct that as an image, or to represent that as an object, then the ability to record that actually is able to um, to take us deeper in some ways. We can store a lot more information, like abstract information, because we're taking our time. We're spending a lot more time in space. So there's more dimensions in what you're able to put in, like a lot more narrative, a lot more story, a lot more context within the code. When you have the luxury of slowing things down, taking your time, you can take a day, a week, a whole month, or a year to construct something. And when you write a book, it's not like constructing a sentence when you're in a conversation with someone as you're speaking, listening, like taking turns. When you're in literacy, and slow down, really, really take your time. So I want you to take these into consideration when you're DJing live. Things will be immediate. There will still be the prospect of mediation, and the mediator would more or less be you. You are the space holder. You are the one um, creating more or less like a bridge between spirit and the person, until somehow you eventually disappear and nothing is left except the person and the universe. Like here, you are more invisible, and what is more visible is the information itself that you embed. So I would say both are important, like what is immediate and what is less immediate. They both have importance, and I would study like all of those. So just to give an example, let me change devices. Okay, right. I'm gonna move to my phone now. Sorry, wait. I don't think I'm sharing sound. So let me make sure I'm sharing sound. Share sound, share. Okay, so maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. So something I did just now is I put two apps beside each other. And normally as many of you know, I don't really work with Spotify usually, but more and more lately I've been working with Spotify because I've been recording these playlists that I've been sharing globally, and I'm uploading them on Spotify. So I have this account right now where I would be able to more easily share what I would construct for programs, whether it be for addiction, for sleeping, for school, for companies, and so on and so forth. And these are the ones that I more or less am proud of, that I feel are shareable. And these are also the ones that don't have copyright issues, more or less. So like one example, or one like case use that I would bring up, and Gra and Sophie and Carol can dive deeper into this. Thank you for that. Is uh, like one of the things I was seeing when I was constructing this is, okay, let's say, okay, you can more easily construct a timeline that's already pre-made, for those who don't have the space, the time, the resources, the energy to construct playlists, at least there could be the noise app in the background that is able to collaborate, to co-deconstruct, or to co-create, so that there's still an element of control. So maybe even if you're not like if you're not doing so much changes in terms of rhythm or tempo, it at least gives some layerings there. So I would be happy for Kara and Sophie to go deeper into these apps. I just want to quickly show you something that I normally do if I was to share the DJ app. Let's see. Okay. So aside from maybe putting up a Spotify track, which is a long track, so meaning, okay, you don't have to skip around different songs because already this is like a one track. These are tracks or musical elements that belong within the inner dance genre, meaning when a playlist is constructed, you don't have to jump songs. You know, a particular song is already an hour long or 2 hours long, 3 hours long, depending on how you would like it. Don't need to change. We're already making things quite easy for you. But where you do have the energy, resources, and time to deconstruct or reconstruct, like one set of possibilities is to work within genres. So I give this one example whereby there's this track that I have. This is Carl Sagan.
Thereby, Flatland, we would progressively see higher and higher.
This is something I used for a playlist that I constructed this week.
Now to approach and you a plan.
Okay, this is not actually a good example because there's a I was looking for example where there was music in the background. Okay, so this has music in the background, and then there's also words.
No concept of three-dimensional objects.
So they're speaking in the background. So I'm going to be pressing a few buttons here, and just to show you what controls I am evoking here right now.
These two-dimensional
the one thing that I'm needing from this track is really just a voice. So I'm going to explain the topic I'm bringing up, but for now I'm going to just demonstrate.
Flanders have no understanding of cubes,
So just going back
spheres,
to Spotify.
tetrahedrons.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe Grok can show this, but these two are supposed to be working at the same time. I'm not even gonna try to fix that. Okay, sorry. This is super messy. I don't like messy, but share. Working with time and space. There is time and space in both orality and literacy. As we often discuss in our trainings, time is here. It's the horizontal, space is the vertical. So things unfold in time. Space is where things are happening simultaneously. Selection happens in space. So you are selecting possible elements that you would playlist. In time, you create combinations of that which you have basically selected. My long advice is when a lot of people construct playlists out of things that they have selected, usually like the things that they're selecting are very, very similar. Actually, because similarity is key feature in structuralism where space is concerned. Like that's how the mind works. We're always looking for things that are similar with each other. because that's how the mind likes to associate thoughts in connection with other thoughts. This is not something we do in inner dance. In inner dance, a lot of the transformations actually come about when there's contrast or differentiation between songs in particular. So when you do combinations either in space or time, so you can either combine songs, combine sounds, combine frequencies, there has to be the jump in various elements. So the example that I was, say, trying to demonstrate to you is jumping between musical genres is one thing. Hopping between musical genres, so it could be from, let's say, classical music, say you have something from Johann Sebastian Bach or Mozart, then jumping into even classical rock, in a sense, would be very, very different. Say from Bach to Led Zeppelin to, let's say, Britney Spears or Michael Jackson, you jump to pop music. A lot of these have different qualities, frequencies, rhythms, textures that would influence the autonomic nervous system and the circadian rhythms to go into that simultaneous co-activation of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic, thereby bringing about the REM state consciousness. But maybe like a less simple way of understanding, or a more advanced but simpler way of understanding is music unto itself could be a genre. Noise itself could be a genre, which is why we are bringing up the noise app. Words themselves are belong to a genre unto themselves. So when you are shopping around for different trigger mechanisms, using purely music, jumping from music to music would do one thing, but learning to bring combinations where words are concerned, this could be quite powerful, like in the long term. Noise, for sure, has been tested, tried, proven, even more effective than music in many ways. Music is super duper effective. It's just music is manipulative, and a lot of spaces being held around the world are discovering ways in which people are able to hold themselves without the need for mediation from a kind of healer, space holder. Okay, so I think that would be possible intro, whereby the community, those who have experience with instruments, with apps, maybe this could be an opening for them to describe what they are using. Like, I would love to ask some space holders here. Mario is here with us as well. He's been not just studying, he's one of the people who have attended like past trainings, who's inner dance. And when he now conducts trainings, mostly in Spain, he teaches people how to construct music. It's not so much just to hold energy. Like there are people who are doing trainings now who are particularly focused on how do you hold the musical part, okay? Because there's always it's like a chain of events when you think about it, like, wow, okay, spirituality, transformation, this is happening right now. And then one of the most powerful mediums is music. Music can alter the brain state in a way that many other media cannot, as faster, as hugely. And then when we value the music, let's understand what the tools are and what is the theory behind the tools. So if you learn to think ahead, when you move forward, when you learn to think structurally and not just from a deconstructive, I'm going to blow up bodies, I'm going to create like a mess, I'm going to create chaos and see what happens. When you start to think in a constructive or structural way, music will come up, not just in the work that we do. I think if you want to figure out human consciousness, music has been there with us, helping us to evolve. and it's still doing it now. So when we talk about the tools, there's something very metacognitive and metalingual in a way that we become aware of our own consciousness. When we study music, we also study our own consciousness. So don't think this is just a music workshop. You bring psychology, music, brain science, transformation all together. You're going to look at the really huge mirror indeed. Okay, so let's start with Gra. She helped to volunteer hold the space. Okay, let's see what she can share by way of tools and perspectives. Gra, are you ready? She's in Maya right now. It's gonna be a
Hi,
little bit dark
I
to start.
am.
Okay,
I was not
yay.
expecting to be the first.
Number one, numero uno.
Ah, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Gra. Speaking from Maya, doing things from Maya, and gathering notes, gathering a lot of also history, how my process has been evolving with playlist construction. Wait, I have a sign here. Wait, it's English. Okay. So I've started like playlisting in 2020, I guess. And it was like basically it took me a year or a year and a half to start diving into that. That was when I was gifted an old iPad, and it felt that it was time. So my sense with that is that I never pushed myself into playlisting, and this is usually what I also share with people when we talk about playlisting, because there's something that needs to be kind of ready and open to enter this stage, and I value that growth very, very much. So when I started, there was just in the iPad this DJ Pro app, and I don't think we were even no, we were using My Noise already. We were like kind of growing with My Noise at that time. So we were also doing the online journeys, the online intensives, because it was during pandemic and we had no retreats here. So everything was done online. So I was kind of blessed that I was not pushed into the DJing live at the beginning. I was like, okay, I can have my studio. So I was at home building the playlists and through DJ Pro, not doing live sessions, just building them. So in a way, like, it's interesting to notice how my creative process or my studio was happening within Orality, because I was using DJ Pro. I was using everything that we use to DJ live. I was using, but it was in a studio format. I was recording. I was in my inner space and channeling from that pool as well. At that time, we were not big on Sims yet, so I was kind of very, very blessed to start in a very easy era of inner dance, not so much to be overwhelmed with. So DJ Pro offers you the possibility to work with 4 tracks. I will go over a little bit of the specificities and show some of the things that I do with DJ Pro in a while. But it offers you to work with 4 different tracks. And in a way, my playlists, they always had 4 different tracks, the recorded one, the oldest ones. As I grew into the playlisting, and as we grew into the apps, there was this need for more. So this is to say that you don't need to start like with 20 layers or get overwhelmed with a lot of layers. You can start very, very simple. In fact, like one thing that really helped me in the beginning was to work with My Noise. And I actually had a Samsung. I still have my old Samsung phone. So I was not even not even on iOS yet. So I had a Samsung iPhone and I found this apps. It was not even DJ Pro. Some other apps that are available for Android that you can put a song and kind of like do things on top, or record or play other songs on top. So I would put like Boom Boom or Whale Song, which are kind of like the canons of inner dance, during a session, and playlist on top of that, like with my noise, and also with other noise apps that I would find available for Samsung. That was my live experience. So it was really, really simple. And then in the studio, it was DJ Pro. So it was only 4 layers, and working with the program, learning with the program. And I'm not a musician. I've never taken music classes. I am still learning or trying to learn how to play the djembe and percussion and all of that. And this is also to maybe encourage all of you that are not musicians that you can do this and you can create beautiful stuff as well. And people can really, really access their most inner spaces with whatever you make as well. So the aspect of the inner dance music being this kind of like a new genre or a new kind of way of music, it really helped me to be easy with my mistakes and with my chaotic younger playlister as well. So when I started, which was also a reflection of my own process at that time, that was 2020, I was coming out of aphasia, so I was in a very deconstructive moment. I was in a very like, let's break all of the rules kind of thing, all of the frontiers, let's go escabudo with all of it. So at that time, my playlists, they were kind of like super into that energy as well. Let's bring space into this. And a lot of bringing space was about this deconstructing time. So at that time, I was using many tools like loops and cutting songs. I would cut pieces of songs and use them in different orders, or put them in reverse, or like do crazy things, really, really, really deconstruct and go Frankenstein with the songs at that time. So as I grew out of my chaotic thing, and I feel that the synth journeys, when we started going into the synthesizers, there was something that kind of grew also within myself, that I was now trying to create things differently. And I've noticed as well, that was like 2022 already, so it was 2 years journey with playlisting. I've noticed how my playlists, they went from super hyper to something calmer, and something in me also found the space, or the space to resonate from more calmness in a way, or to be more sneaky actually, because the deconstruction was still there. We never let go, or we are always working with deconstruction in itself, but there was something that was coming more masked, or more in harmony with everything. So over the years, since I started like with one app, now I work with 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 6 or 7 apps.
Thanks to the
Plus,
constant file.
sorry, Katya, I'm muting you. Okay. So now I work with around 7 apps, plus my voice as well, when I'm DJing live mostly. And I've also found apps that allow me to record my voice live, or record my voice when I am in the studio, and I can play everything as well. So that was kind of like a mini evolution, or a mini journey inside all of the apps. There's something in our consciousness, in our development, that works very well with stages of development. So I also see in the way the growth of apps, how it was mirroring some sort of stages of development as well. So you would also check in with yourself, in which stage are you at, and that will also reflect on the number of applications you have, and what applications you have as well. I still don't work very much with like apps or DAWs like Bitwig or Ableton or Logic Pro, because I feel I am still really, really into exploring the apps and the DJ Pro and all of that, especially how to mix things, and especially because there's something about the hands. Since I use everything on the iPad, there's something about the hands that really, really works with my body. So yeah. So I wanted to show something before it's kind of like this map that I was, while I was sleeping, taking my nap, I was kind of thinking about this little map. It's 3 a.m. here, so I forced myself to take a nap. Hi, cable. Sorry, it was not connected. Here.
Ground. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's working. Yeah.
Yeah, it was loading. Okay, so pen. Oh shoot. Okay, so I do that a little bit later. I need to charge the pen. Okay, so I jumped into this one for now. So this is DJ Pro app. And as I was saying, like you can work with 4 different songs. Each slot of this is a song. And you can actually do many, many things with any of the songs. So it will allow you to change the tempo, the pitch, the what layers or what frequencies of the sound you want to put in perspective, or what do you want to be highlighted from each song and with each sound that you are making. In the beginning, so when I started, of course, I was using songs and like normal songs. I still have actually a lot of songs. But also as I grew into this, I started using more songs without lyrics. So there's also this thing that, especially with the synthesizers, that I started using songs without lyrics, which are like ambient songs or any weird sounds that you find available on YouTube, that they are not like proper songs with lyrics like Adele or Freddie Mercury or something like that. So every sound or every element in the library, in the space continuum that I access, and we access it by clicking here, and you have like all the folders that you create. Every sound or every element of this is going to actually tune into something in space according to how you combine. And this is something that I love about playlisting, because you're literally just doing the same thing that language does. It's like selecting and combining, and you can always do many different things with the same selection of sounds. So this is also why I also love this app and this way of playlisting, constructing everything. So this also offers you, so I don't know, this is hard because I cannot draw on top of things to point and highlight stuff for you guys. But on the upper side of the screen, there is like this circle in the middle, which is the symbol of the DJ Pro. And then on the left, there is a symbol. On the right, there is another one. So this allows you to move from spaces, and you will find different features there to work with the songs and all of that. So on the left side, you will find a screen that will show you like what Pi was trying to show you guys, which is the Neural Mix. Neural Mix allows you to, let me go to this one over here. This one has lyrics. Are you listening? Wait, volume, that thing. Yeah, one thing that I always tell everyone that works with DJ Pro, every time you are going to load a song, especially if you're DJing live, please put your volumes down because the moment you load a song is the moment that it will be played. And sometimes you want to just load the song for the next layer, and then you're super chilled, and then your next song is super fast, and you kind of like ruin the mood in there. So I learned it. I've learned this a lot, like doing a lot of mistakes in life. So yeah, just lower your volumes before you load anything. So yeah, it was lowered now. Okay. Oh, I just sorry, I was playing things here. Let me go back to normal. Okay. Volume. So this is the normal song. Alright, this is tricky.
You bring the beauty and the light to this world we live in.
So right now I canceled out the drums and the harmonic, and I have only the vocals.
Falling down from grace.
This is super nice because, for example, sometimes this allows you to work with familiarity and unfamiliarity. And it's kind of like a tool that I use a lot because sometimes, you know, when you want to give people the confidence or the trust to go a little bit farther into the unknown. So sometimes I have a lot of weird sounds or spatial sounds that are coming through. And in order to help people going through the next stage or to let go or to dive deeper into that unknown aspect, there is this familiar thing that is playing in the back, and it's kind of like acting as a support to something. But it also works with the what I'm going to show now. It also works with the expectation, with the reward system, and with the expectation. Thank you, Mario. With the expectation and the reward system. Because, for example, if you're playing a song that is familiar and you take out elements of it, it becomes not so familiar anymore. And the nice thing here is also that you can couple this with other rhythms. So you will be changing as well the song, like what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to put just the vocals of one song and the rhythms or the beat or whatever other song that is playing.
You got the power in your smile to bring back the feeling.
So basically, it went from this, because this is the normal song, to this. So this is kind of one way of decomposing or deconstructing a song or something that is familiar already for the participants or for the bodies. Some other tool that is super nice from DJ Pro. If you want to, for example, select parts, or if you want to keep coming back to specific parts of the song, you can do that by clicking in this arrow that will be here. And I hope you can see this Like I have different colors, different triangles on top of the song. So let's say the song is playing. So every time I click in one of these buttons, it will go back to whatever part I selected of that song. So this is nice or interesting to create like loops and to create spaces of time distortion and different time perspectives as well within the same song. And also, of course, if you do it very fast, you can also use it as a disrupting strategy, disrupting mechanism, because the person is going to try to make sense of what that song is, but then the brain cannot catch up with the linearity of the song anymore. So this is in a way a tool to break down the thinking process. It's like it just gets into a moment that like, okay, I let go. I don't want to make meaning or make continuity out of this thing anymore. Basically that kind of thing. Something else that is interesting here, you can select something, you can select a space or a tiny fraction of the song.
To bring back the feeling.
So when you press in, and I am now in the double circled arrows. By selecting in, out, I selected, so I just selected a spot or a place in that song, and it will just keep playing until forever, until I unselect it.
To bring back the feeling.
So another very nice thing from this app is the effects button, and when I started, they only allowed you to put like one effect per song, but now we have like 4, and there are different intensities as well of the effect, which is pretty nice. And this is literally when you can really go crazy with the songs and during the playlist. So my advice here is always play around with the effects when you are home, because sometimes you don't know a crazy effect and you put it, it's amazing. You might disrupt and you might create some very nice atmosphere, but it might be also too much. So always kind of like know what floors you are going through. There are, for example, some effects. So you will just click on top of it, and up here you will have like different categories of effects as well. So you have essentials, reverb and echo, noise and sweep, macro, and they will add texture. They will do some things to the songs. Like if I want to go maybe for some intensity, or let's see this one.
To bring back
So you can actually add 3 effects at the same time. I just moved. And mostly the effects we can use to disrupt, to create different textures, and they are also very nice to be used during transitions as well. So my usual goal with this would be, of course, to take some of the layers here in the neural, especially if I'm using songs with lyrics. Just take some of the layers here and add some effects, and especially towards the end. The effect session allows you to use 3 different ways of effects. So it's manual, instant, and pad. So manual is this one where you select and the thing will be playing. But the pad is the one that allows you to go from high to low, from left to right. And then this is one of the tools that I normally use when I know that the song is ending and I don't want to end it abruptly. This is one of the things that I do. I just select the one effect.
An old child
Most of the times echo.
falling down from grace. You got the power in your smile to bring back the feeling.
So you kind of smooth things away. There's something about the transitions that when we use it in an abrupt way, it will, of course, talk to the reward and dopamine and expectation in a different way. When you use too much disruption, it will talk a lot and maybe too much of that aspect of the brain. So smooth transitions, they are also very nice because they give continuity to the song. A lot of people, they give it back how different it is when the playlist is sequential, like just Spotify playlist, one song after the other. And when they go into a more spatial / sequential playlist, like the Inner Dance style of playlist, because there is this level of continuity. People don't know where the song ended and when the song started. They also, a lot of times, they don't know what songs were played because it was a lot of layers and a lot of the things very harmonized together through the works of transition. So yeah, I have, let me see, something that I was thinking or working on later. I don't know if I can. There are some, when I work with music there or songs like this, there are some songs that I love working with because they offer you. So I'm now talking about the Tickling the Amygdala, which is the first track on the first slot. And you can see the drawing or the shape of the song. It starts very thin and then it goes a little bit chubbier. So these are the kind of songs that offer you some nice build up. So I kind of use them when I am in transition, when I'm going from a from the lowest part to a higher part. So there are some songs that are very nice for that aspect. Whereas, for example, the second song, which is Space Ambience, it kind of has the same drawing or the same design, the same image, the vibrations or the frequencies, they are kind of the same. They don't oscillate too much. This means like it's a more stable song in a way. This is also a way that I use, for example, sometimes I know what part of the journey I am and I put a song, and by the drawing of the song, I know, oh, this song is not for this moment because it, for example, the last song, Alex Serra, you can see that there is a lot, it's very bulky. So this means that the song is very high beat. It's very active song. So it will allow you to see different things as well from just the way that you see the drawing, the design of the song. So it's kind of also a way of recognizing, can I use this song now, or does this song go with the mood that I am creating with that? So it was this one. And then yeah, this one. And oh yeah, so when I work with transitions, it's usually fast and slow, and it will also be related to the amount of layers that I have. So building up a song is about putting or adding more layers. It can be also about adding more layers to the sound. So let's say you start with one, and then you slowly build up by adding some other sounds at the same time. The dropping of a sound or the dropping of a wave can be also the taking off of layers. So this is also one way of seeing how to build up and how to drop the wave. It can also then be the BPM. You fasten up the BPM, or you do not fasten the BPM, or you slower it down. Something that also the GI Pro allows you to do is to sync the tempos. So you can see that down here in the inferior part of the screen, you will have a number. This is the tempo. Each one has their own. And if you press sync, they will sync. And this will allow you to get a little bit more harmonic with things on the go. And it took me a while to actually want to do this. In the beginning, I was like, no, let's not synchronize anything, as I was saying before. But yeah, I've learned how to love the synchronization and the harmony, and how things also combine, and how deconstruction can happen when you learn how to combine things as well, and you learn how to use harmony. So what was I going for with this? Yeah, I think it's a little bit about layering. So I'm always going for something that, again, is kind of spatial and progressive, like the first track. There's always a very continuous track that is kind of like delta going on here. In mine, here is one of my favorite is this one, Space Ambience, because I feel it offers me a nice background for when I want to go high and for when I want to go low as well. So this is also how I work with my layers. There is a point of the journey that I need some hard BPM, or I need some hard beat, which is usually during REM space, or like when I want to go a little bit crazier, or go into some retrocausality, dream shaking realities. I have other apps. I will show a little bit the other ones that I use, but I've learned also how to embrace the techno age. So I found some ways to kind of like, because if you don't want to get a drum machine or something that is just basically giving you the drums, this also will allow you to have like the beats, which is a rhythm. And you can also work changing this rhythm as well. This is so it's not the same song anymore. It is a song, but you just change it, and you can make it a little bit more inner dancey than just the beat and just the techno party fiesta. Okay. And then there is this one. This is just for the sake of showing something. Sorry. Something else also that I use a lot to work with layers and to combine and to transit from one room or space to another is the volume. So I actually use very, very simple tools to work with transitions and with combinations as well, which is mostly like how to adjust the volume and the gain of every song that is happening at the same time. So sometimes I'm not even synchronizing the songs, but adjusting just by adjusting the volume and what is more prominent or not in the track will also allow like a nice crazy or not organized or organized way of putting things together. I also trust a lot in the neural coupling oscillation aspect or ability that our brain has. So I'm gonna put some effects. That will work slowly in the other one. And I want to make the sound or the voice weirder because I'm gonna start growing into the weird. So of course, after some space of, okay, this is cool, this is nice, then I just go a little bit into the weird. So I just change the tempo of the song. And I'm gonna add more. This is a ping pong delay, so the song will be in delay a little bit. Something of the rhythm. And it would go on to something else, but so I would just talk about what I did here. So in the inferior part of the screen, there is this volume, which is again another aspect that I use for transitioning. I just seized the opportunity that the Age of Love was kind of not in the beat anymore, so I could just lower the volume. And since I wanted to transition and get out of the Power of Love, la 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 story that was happening and go into some other room, I just threw the pad. I was clicking on the pad. And because the song 1 and 2 were playing, I was able to, with the pad open, clicking on the pad in Alexia, The Power of Love, just to change the volume to the left side of the program. Slowly and building that safe transition net just with the volume and with the pad of the effects. So this is also then one or another way to transit between spaces. I guess like there will be effect-wise, there will be a lot of things to explore in the effects. You will find things that disrupt the continuity of the song, and they will talk about with the reward system. Like there is this gate. This is the one that I learned in the spot that should really just use when it is time to use. This one, gate. It's really just gating and just chopping or interrupting the song. Might look like there is a problem, and sometimes this actually happens that your apps start working on this fashion, like you don't know why, but everything is just going like they are entering aphasia, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, but there are also effects that you can do that. So this will be there. There are some that will offer some kind of spatiality or spatial dynamics to it, which is, for example, I think I was using it, Zeitgeist. Where are you, my friend? This one. It kind of like creates a warping, destruction, or plays around with the sensorial and spatial imaging of brains in the space. So it will go there. Last one maybe on this round, because there are actually so many, and you will, like, if you have this app, you will find your own time to do that. Oopsie. UFO is an interesting one for like when you want to kind of create a dropping aspect, or you're dropping from one space into the other, because it kind of like creates this progression with the do. Something also that I've learned on the way was that I was super excited in the beginning. Like, I want to put effects everywhere. I want to, put more than one effect in one song and all of that. I was really much into experimenting. But on the way, I realized that the more specific you are, the more you choose how you combine as well. And maybe that sometimes less is more in this, especially when you have like so very strong effects happening at the same time. So sometimes I do mix more than one effect because they kind of merge together. But there are some effects that they do become too much, or they end up disrupting or not making any sense. Something also that I've learned how to respect was the space of the song. So in the beginning, I was jumping from song to song, And I was also a little bit anxious, like, oh my God, this song is going to end and I need to think of what's coming next. Especially because with this one, if you are recording, there is a space where you can record. And if you are recording it, it will not stop recording. So if there are no songs, you will be just recording silence. So I used to get a little bit anxious, like, wow, there is no song. I need to put something because the recording is going on. This is why also we have such long tracks, like Space Ambience is a very long track. It's like a 3-hour track. And there are so many long tracks on YouTube, like gamma waves, serotonin waves, like GABA, something like things that you can really just leave there in the background, just to also help your brain and help your own process of channeling this. So before I was like jumping from one song to another until I got that time and the respecting moment of let's allow people to be in this room for as much as it is important. And you will also feel when it is time to change things. And to change things or to change the mood is very, very simple with this app. Like sometimes you are here forever. And then changing something can just be like you can just be changing the tempo.
Let the wind blow into your life, such faith and trust. Don't let the earth
changing, for example, one aspect of the song.
No.
So anything that you do actually will change. And I think actually what allowed me to learn how to go like very chirurgic, because you really go chirurgical with the songs with this app. And My Noise was actually what taught me, and like how it was actually what trained my brain how to be chirurgic with things. There is a possibility to actually be or compose an entire playlist just with My Noise. Sophie's going to talk about My Noise a little bit, but I just wanted to express this, that because you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you have like 10 different things, and sometimes only one you can really like do so much when you change slowly from one space to another. So something that I also use to build transitions in the playlist is, for example, we're here. Oh, DJ Pro, my friend, don't I really? Let's go again. I don't know what I'm playing. Let me just put some things here. Hold on. So if you are here and you, okay, I need to change, but I don't need to change too much. My noise, like you just change one button and you are already like able to imprint something different in the space, and it organizes better, so you are able to hear it better. I like the breathing. So let's say this is the room that is created, and then you just want to change it. You can easily just start playing with these buttons, and things will begin to change already. I guess from DJ Bro, let me see my weird notes here. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit of what I could see from DJ Pro. So something that this is how I started actually with this app. And nowadays I have like these other apps, and I kind of organize. I think I have my pen now. Yeah. I've kind of like organized a little bit the way that I use the apps, and I'm also seeing how this is a structure that I might need to disrupt eventually. But let's say that this is the playlist. And there is a specific way that we start, which is most likely chilling and most likely coming down from beta into something that is more relaxing for the group. So there are here specific apps that I would use, or specific sounds. And for example, I would start with my noise. And I would also maybe start with a synthesizer. Because a synthesizer would offer something this is a synthesizer. This is Synth 1. And it allows you to make or oscillating frequencies. So you can change the frequency of waves in this one, and you can create a lot of mixes, and you can really also go very, very crazy with this. But I like this mostly because it goes from super high to super low. So this is, if I want to start with something lower, if I want to build something slow, delta-ish in the beginning, I would have this also kind of like in the background with my noise or something else. I didn't know that I would need to start building up into something. So this would go into triggering elements. And right here is when usually like a heartbeat or something or some other noises that will start to increase the blood flow and increase the heart activity. So for this particular one, there is this app called Launchpad, and it allows you to play different sets of sounds. This is very interesting, and I like it very much because in the J Pro, you can actually not go too far with the tempo. So you can go, okay, to 20 is very, very low. But the farther you can go is like, it doesn't allow you to go like 300 or 500 or something with the tempo. And sometimes if you don't want to rely on a psytrance or, I don't know, fiesta song, this type techno songs for your beats, you can also find beats in Launchpads. So Launchpads will have like a column that is just for beats. And you can change the tempo. In a crazier way. So usually what I would do then is to use elements, just some effects to start triggering and to signal the build up. So this is then now how we begin to use or begin to see the harmonic way of the apps as well, not just inside one app, but how one app would also work with another one. It's not this one. So I have now something very calming. I'm using the synth, the mind noise, and I put my favorite relaxing sound in the J Pro. And to start building up, I would just like, for example, use some signals from this one. These two columns, they offer like very fast sounds. So this is why I like to use them here. they are really kind of like just the start, just the preparation for the next build-ups. And then there would be eventually some sort of songs. Then I would go to DJ Pro more here and do something which is more active and more layered and with effects, and something that is kind of like the first wave, but then preparing to drop. In the drop, this is all the drops. This is where I start using more spatial sounds. And I rely on also on other synthesizers that I've been using, or other apps. There is this Aparillo one. So as I was saying before, the drops, they usually go into dropping the beat, the tempo. So you go from something fast to slow, but you can also go from something lyric based to something spatial based. This will also help you drop. And there are some sounds in my noise that are very, very used for those as well, like Shepherd is usually one that I don't want this. And this, and I want this. This is also one that very common that we use for drops or changing also rooms in the playlist. And yeah, usually in this part, I would use more synthesizers to help backing up some of the spatialness, cosmic adventures that are going to happen. So if I want to go up with the tempo again, I would most likely use one of the launch pads. So that's why also I even have two. So I have more libraries of things. So for example, this is very different already. Why this always happens to you? Volume. Like this one has a very different set of kicks and a very different set of sounds. It's also a launch pad. So both launch pads I use mostly when I want to fasten things up, and I don't want to put any techno songs or something like that. Here in the REM party, this is then, so for example, to build up to the first build up, to go from N1 to N2, let's say I just take the tempo until, I don't know, 190 or 200 maximum, but here, this is the tempo. But in REM, that is when I allow myself to go a little bit into 300 or a little bit farther than that, just to see how much people can take us also during this moment. I also have, like in my library, a lot of sounds that are less known, more weirder, for example. So like in my sounds like mushrooms and plant synthesizers and babies crying and frequencies and many other sounds that I use specifically for that moment. And I've also downloaded, like I have this folder that is retrocausal moments are the REM moments. So they are faster songs and they have that dreamy aspect or that spiritual vibe kind of going on into them, like mythospheric something. So these are songs that I would not use them as they are. I would really just work on them, but they are there to help me hold the REM consciousness aspect, but also not knowing as well that REM space is not only when we are high. So then I rely on the synthesizers to also hold the lower and to hold also the the unseen or the unnoticed parts of the REM space, also counting on the many other layers that I'm using with other songs and other apps. So yeah, then you know you need to slowly come down and you need to go up again. In the end, and again, maybe this is a structure that will be changed soon, but in the end, as I was saying before, since I like working with familiarity, and I am actually very specific when I use non-songs with lyrics. I only use them in two occasions. When I want to create the familiar aspect, so I'm not relying just in the lyrics, but more in the language and more in the people know this voice, people know this singer or something like that. And the other time is when I hear that the song needs to be played, and this happens a lot of times, especially when you are DJing live. You will start hearing or feeling this song needs to come out now, and a lot of times I don't want to play those songs, but I end up playing them. And later on, people tell me, okay, yes, that song really helped me or something like that. It was kind of like touching, you begin to touch people also with the song choices. So these are the two moments that I allow myself to use it with pleasure and to explore also this realm in the songs in that sense. So here it's mostly when I would put like some song or something because especially if I went too much into space if I went too much into space before, I would use something to start speaking back to the room. And also if I am not in the space to channel words myself in the room. So yeah, I would use some songs there, which mean it would be like DJ Pro again. But also other elements like heartbeat, sound of a heartbeat. You can have it also from YouTube and have it on your DJ Pro and use it during your sessions and all of that. And also start coming down, dialing down the layers of the synthesizers and all of that to end up into something that is earthy. Usually my noise is very good for that, to help you bridge things, bridge layers. So yeah, there is, okay, so I've shown how I use the DJ Pro. There is Remix Live, the Launchpad, and then this other Launchpad, which is called just Launchpad. Aparillo. I'll just show these other ones that I use sometimes. This is an oscillator. It allows you to play the raw frequencies of songs. So it's gonna be just like a raw frequencies, no raw waves. Like it's gonna be just sine wave or square wave or go. So this is also something to play around with. There is something in continuity or in not continuity, sorry, in absence of things that I've been witnessing, how powerful it is when we don't have so many elements also in the space as sound, and you are actually able to hold or to sustain something different also with frequencies, and maybe sometimes just one frequency, because a lot of times we're dealing with so many layers, and there is a lot of power also in holding just one sound or one type of wave at specific moments that allow people to breathe, but also to reach out of their inner space wherever they were going to. And then last one, it was that, oh, okay, this is just also for the sake of sharing. And then this is a fun one. It allows you to draw a wave. So this I also use this for like a triggering elements, because of course it's not like don't wanna be continued with this because it's very annoying. So if you don't want to be poking people to trigger them, this can be a way to trigger. So this one is called Pixel Wave, and there's a similar one. This is very spacey. Also very good then to create bridges in between spaces from between rooms. If you're going, for example, from one stage to another, if you're following a 12-stage playlist, this is a nice way also to be holding the transition between spaces. I guess this is it. Yeah, sorry if you feel very vulnerable. It's the first time that I'm giving like this map this way. I hope it helped. I hope it makes sense. And yeah, this is it. Thank you very much. And now I don't know if we go into questions or if we go into my noise, Sophie. And Cajo also. What do you guys feel? I don't know.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, about DJ Pro. You work with the pad, and I have seen Ahilan working with the pad too. Now on my DJ Pro, it's like not possible. I cannot find it. We have tried to find it several times, and or maybe if you know it by heart where I can find it. I have been, while you were speaking, I was looking at my DJ Pro, but I could not find how to.
Sorry.
So maybe short key
What are you trying to look for?
for the pad. So you have the
The
what is-
pad in the
Yeah.
on the computer.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. I think, do I have DJ Pro on my computer?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, maybe yeah. That's different. Mhm.
Maybe because it is on the iPad.
Yeah, but Ahilan has it too on his MacBook. So
Okay.
yeah,
Effects.
I think so. It was his it was his MacBook. I'm not sure. We have been looking for it, or maybe if somebody knows a short key to press to access that, it would be amazing, because I would love to work with that.
I will try to find it in my
Yeah.
computer later, and then I message you, and okay,
Okay.
because now I look here and I'm like, okay, this is new soil to explore.
Mhm.
Oh, sorry, just something that I forgot about my noise. Not my noise, about DJ Pro. Zoom, where are you? Here. The latest version offers a looper as well. So you have also this, it's kind of like a launchpad inside of DJ Pro. So if you don't want to download a launchpad, you can explore with these things. My take with this, well, it's the same thing with Launchpad. So my take with them is they will be pretty techno stuff if you use them as they come. So just explore how you were able to change the elements or things there. It will be with volume or an effect or something, or a different combination that will allow you to find the inner dance way of translating or using that app as well. Because some facilitators, they're like, oh no, this is too techno or too party, and they don't like using it. But it can be, something can be harvested from them, especially when you are able to use not just them but combine them with the other apps and with the other syncs as well. So they are kind of like offering you background layers. That's it. maybe I don't know, Sofia Caro.
Yeah,
Toby?
I can
Okay.
jump in. It's not a lot that I will say. But thank you, Gra, for those informations. Also with the combination with the playlist, how you did that or what kind of applications you used. I see that Benedict has asked some questions about how the apps were called, the one of the oscillator app and the wave drawing one. Okay, so my name is Sophie, and I'm from Belgium. I have seen that there are a lot of Belgian people also in the call. So I want to share you my my story with the music or with the playlisting. I only started experimenting with music or with playlisting in September last year. Before that, I used playlists that were offered. I started by mixing two playlists, and it was exactly in DJ Pro. So for example, I mixed a regular playlist with a sleep playlist. So that was a little bit like playing safe, using that DJ Pro to get used to that program. And then I added some pieces from other playlists through the same program. And I knew the playlist very well, so it was easy to find the pieces I felt that were needed to be added. So, but then I started experimenting with MyNoise, and I immediately bought a full package with MyNoise. I will show the options just after this with my iPad. And I start using it on my iPhone. But a few months later, I bought an iPad mini, really a small one, on which I installed MyNoise 2. And I love working with MyNoise because when I facilitate a session with children, I only use MyNoise. I don't use other playlists. I'm just there with the iPad using MyNoise. So during an open class, mainly with adults, I add the sounds of MyNoise to either existing playlist or my live playlists. So in the beginning, I have here my boxes with me. I use the same speakers for the playlist and MyNoise. So I have 3 of this. I connected them with cables, and I used MyNoise and DJ Pro on the same boxes. But there were quite a lot of glitches. So afterwards, I use, still now, I'm using 3 of this for the DJ Pro. And then I have this one and this one for MyNoise. So the reason I take this ones for MyNoise is you can walk easily around. So I walk around with this iPad, and sometimes a speaker, mostly this one. And I might place a speaker where so much vibration is felt on someone's stomach or near their soles of their feet. So the speakers are often moved around. Sometimes I go like this. This is really an easy one. It's a Bose 360 degrees. And I move them around. They're never on the same place. They're always moving. So MyNoise was founded by Stéphane Pigeon, and he is a Belgian sound engineer, and he founded it in 2013, I guess, so a little bit more than 10 years now. And the sounds on MyNoise come from various sources. So Stéphane, he recorded many of the sounds himself during his travels around the world. And these sounds include natural sounds like rain, wind, and ocean waves, as well as urban sounds like the buzz of a cafe or the noise of an office. And the quality is so high. And in my personal experience, MyNoise has made it easy for me to get in touch with playlists. So I recommend everyone to download this app. So just before a session, people sometimes talk about certain fears they feel. And I try at that time to think about which soundscape I will use to trigger that fear. I once had a woman, for example, with a phobia of roosters. So during the session, I used the soft clucking of a chicken at one point. During live playlisting, when following the waves, it's also great to stop all the music when the wave goes down, except for my noise. And then often I keep on using the in utero. It's a soundscape with the possibility to hear a heartbeat in the utero of the mother, in the womb of the mother, and the flute of blood going through that womb. So when I drop down in a live playlisting, all of the music of DJ Pro, I just use, for example, the heartbeat and the flute, the fluid of blood. So you fall, you die, but there's a heartbeat, so you live. It's a beautiful experience. And so it, for me, my noise not only adds an extra dimension to the playlist, but also brings softness to the playlist. So when the playlist is in an upward wave, where the BPM goes faster, so when the rhythm goes much faster, I often use the my noise with a humming or babbling water or something in that genre. So you still experience softness and trust in some way. I think the best tip I can give is to experiment, know your music, listen to the sounds of my noise, write down your favorite sounds and experiment during a session. Now we do have a special agreement with the founder of My Noise, and I would like to talk to you about this. I made a presentation that I can send to you all if you want to, with the details of the license agreement and also where you can click to find that, and where you can download the applications with some more information. I'm going to try to share a screen. I will try to share my my iPad now. Oh yeah, now I need to do this. Zoom. I hope it works. Yes, it does work, I think. Yeah, you can see it. So my noise on an iPhone is a little bit like that. On the left side, you can see it. You can open it there at application at the store. Then what is my noise? There you can see on the right side already some examples of soundscapes. So it's an application that offers a wide range of customizable soundscapes, such as background noises, nature sounds, and ambient music. It's designed to promote focus, relaxation, and sleep. So it's free for 20 sounds. So you can already download this and experiment with 20 free sounds. And the concept is really easy. It's simple. It's does not require expensive equipment, such as active noise canceling headphones. And you can see on the right side of the screen, you can see there is a 10 color code slider. So my noise introduces the concept of the frequency shaped noises. And this focuses on the frequencies one wants to effectively block. So you saw it with Gra. She was, for the Shepherd Madness, for example, she held some sliders completely down and others up. So it's a totally other noise. So it has my noise. It has a calibration procedure, and they cover the entire audible frequency range from 20 hertz over. So it's 10 color code octaves. Now, what is a calibrated noise generator. You can read it afterwards. I'm not going to read it. It's like easily said, a calibrated noise generator. It's like a tuning fork for sound equipment. But I can send you this too. I have found some reviews. It were just the last reviews. They're all excellent. I'm like promoting this application. Stefan will be happy. So the reviews. So how to install it's since not long ago there's a possibility for Android to download the application too. So at one point the iOS as we know it now, that version will change completely. It will be, I asked him yesterday and he said normally by the end of September there will be a new iOS version of what we know now as MyNoise with the 5 layers we can add on. It will change. So the Android and the Apple applications will be equivalent. Here on that page you can also afterwards you can download it immediately from there if you want to. Important also to know is that you can use this offline, and for me, and I think for a lot of inner dance facilitators, this is very interesting because not everywhere you can have internet, but that's only on the iPad or the iPhone version. When you use the desktop version, you need to be online. But you can create your own audio files. So there's also a possibility, but to playlist live, I do recommend the iPad or the iPhone. So yeah, my daughter, she loves to work with MyNoise. So today she heard that I was going to talk about MyNoise. So she wrote down her favorite sounds of MyNoise. She loves it, so yeah. Now there is a legal agreement with MyNoise. When you click on here, you can find it immediately on the website. What is the legal agreement for inner dance facilitators? So he welcomes us as an inner dance facilitator, and there is some conditions that we would like to respect. So if you the bottom line of the license agreement is when you use it for your sessions and you get money for it, even it's like €2, you pay 10 euros a month. If you're not using it during the whole year, you just give the 10 euros for the month that you facilitate a session which is paid. If you, for example, like we do here in Belgium too, use the MyNoises in the school system and you use it with children, and of course the children do not pay for it, you can use this application for free. There is a possibility to make a donation to him, but it's not obliged. But if you use it, being an inner dance facilitator, for any price you ask, he asks to have the license of 10 euros a month. So when you use it during a session, what can you do with it, or what can you not do with it? So you can only use this in a live inner dance session only. So for example, if you want to record, how do you say? Yeah, record the session, you can not do that. You cannot give it to other people. Then MyNoise needs to be inserted live. So you cannot use it either to create some video content on social media. Yeah, and that's the most important, I think. Yeah. And thank you. So do you have any questions about, can I help with something? I see there are some things in the oh yeah, the agreement I will the PDF we will send to every trainer who can send it to their groups. He's really a nice guy. He said also he's not going to look after people who do it, but it's kind of it's part of our integrity and the respect that that man puts in it. He's really a nice person. So thank you. That was my part. Caro.
Hello, thank you, Sophie and Gra. Actually, it's gonna be the first time that I will try to explain my system, my own structure. So, so I will try to do it like for 3 years. My name is Caro. Then I will start for the starting point. My name is Caroline. For now, I live in Barcelona. And I'm French, and I'm holding like session and also training in Spanish. And I'm part of this beautiful community that is Inner Dance. So yeah, I try to not forget anything that can be interesting for you to know about also my story. I started to playlist like in 2021. Just 3 months after 3 months after I started to study inner dance, because I was really interested into this aspect of the energy and of the study. And as a personal background, I've been like immersed in musical like vibration, as I would say, like since I am a kid. My father is really a music lover, was really playing all the time, like oh sorry, I need to confirm my language. My language is for now English. Yes. Yeah, so I've been growing up in a family where we had like always like music playing in the background, all sort of music. And yeah, my father's library is really extended, from classical to electronic to rock and roll to any sorts of music. He's really a music lover. And I learned music theory and how to play piano at the age of 7. So I have this little background in my body that is embedded in my body. So I am also a yoga teacher. I'm interested in the study of philosophy, science, many things that are like that touches the consciousness, how to understand why we are here. I have so many questions, as many of you, I guess, if you are here in the inner dance community also. So when I started to study inner dance, like it was really like interesting, the combination of the study and the musical part. So for me, it was really something that was converging in me. And I'm 40 now, so I don't know, I've been like journeying for 40 years now on this earth, and it was like something like a process for me to start playlisting. So I started to playlist with a DAW, what we call like a DAW, the digital audio workstation. I will be part of the call of next week, so we'll do it like kind of in 2 parts today, with my story and maybe the inputs that I can share from my own experience, and how I do channel and how I do feel the music, and this channeling part that is really super mysterious. Even still for me right now, it's like not easy to explain what is happening in the body and the brain. So I started with the 12 stages, and I started to work with Logic Pro because also my husband is in the music industry, so he's a sound engineer like Stefan, and the Belgium like a creator of My Noise, and he's mostly working for like electronic music, and he's also a producer and artist. So I've been immersed like since 16 years like with him in the music industry, the studio environment, because I love to go with him like when he's writing songs, so he's working on Logic Pro. So this, I never worked on Logic Pro before to start with inner dance, but I had like some something was happening already in my body, so it was super easy for me to jump into it. And my husband also just like helped me for the basics, how to handle this app. So what I'm going to show today is the after. When I started to create live, it took a lot of time for me. I've been like training during 1 year on the 12 stages model through the DAW Logic Pro. So I was like combining, selecting, doing collage. I always say, tell it like that I'm creating collage. It's really what we are doing, like layering dimensions, and we are like creating like this mirror for people to hold the deconstruction and also the reconstruction at the same time. So yeah, I've been training for almost like 1 year on the 12 stage models, and we started to see all the apps that Grant like showed you, like presented you. So I was a bit like super like when I was feeling comfortable, starting to feel comfortable with the 12 stages and Logic Pro, I was like, oh no, I need to go back to the beginning, and I need to learn from zero, from scratch. I need to learn everything again. To hold the music in a different way, because holding live music, live session is really different. You can think and imagine if you're holding already sessions. My Noise is a really good tool to start with because it's like a for me synthesizer, and it's really like a place where you can find everything that you want: diversity, combination, slowness, like fastness. It holds like so many layers, so it's really nice to start with. And during the session, so much is happening also energetically. So you're in a state of trance, also like an expanded state of consciousness. You're like in another dimension. So for me, what I'm going to show you today, I hope it's not maybe too much and too soon for you, but it's most what I'm going to show today is like how to organize the apps in the iPad. Because it can get really messy if you use like different apps, and as Gra was saying, less is more. I also like to work with less vibrations, and something like technical that you need to take in consideration is like how their ears get like saturated, like the body's listening, but somehow if you layer too much dimensions, somehow like the ear cannot hear anything. Or if you put it like the volume really high, also it's like saturating, and the wave, like the wave, the sound wave, if you can visualize it in one of your app, will be really thick. So this is a good indication that it's going too much, because sometimes you are in the trance, you are in the dance, and you are like also maybe touching people at the same time. I don't know how do you hold the space, but it can happen also. So you need to kind of contain the universe in those apps. So maybe I can start to show you my screen, to share my screen with you. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here's my iPad, and the main app that I use to organize my my apps and vibrations is called AUM. This is this app, and this is a mixer that I use as a sequencer. Also, I mean, I can do mostly what Gra was doing in the DJ Pro regarding the loops, bringing like audio tracks, like songs into AUM, but I can bring also other apps on top. Okay, what we don't have in AUM is the mixing. DJ Pro is really good app, and I really love this app, and I really love the way Gra was showing her way to do to hold like the music in DJ Pro, because it gives you so much like possibilities. And what I like also, she mentioned something about the hands, that you can go directly with the hands and the fingers, like to stretch and bring distortions or effect to the sounds. So AUM, I will use it like to organize my apps, and also I can put audio tracks like songs on top in my session. It's like weaving. We're gonna see like an application that is called Shum, and it's good like a metaphor for me. The weaving is like for me the playlist is like bringing some threads, different threads, and taking out some others. So in the construction of the playlist, when something goes up and down, so you can bring something, you can add layers, and you can take out the different layers. So I will press this button, and you will see like it's like kind of threads. And this I like also because I can so here I can bring like my apps, as I was saying. So this photo file is like a synthesizer. It's made it's based on the nature sound of the insects, the oscillators. Pattern of the oscillators are made on the sound of the insects and bugs. So I like also to bring, so this is photo 4 is like really to create like delta and theta vibe, also alpha vibe. We will see each app later on. And also I use, so we can see Shum. So this is the the application with the different thread, and I use the metaphor of the weaving to describe what I can do with the playlist. What is the playlist for me? So you see what's why it is important to, if you want to hold like different parts apps, sorry, while you are playlisting live. AUM offers you the possibility to swap from an app to another from this little logo, like you see the I think it's the epsilon, the letter like a Greek letter. So you can swap the app, switch from one to another without all this glitching stuff. So I use also AudioKit, and you see you have the logo in the upper part, like in the upper part, the right part, and I can go back to the mixer, because this like SRS, these are like the volume controllers, so you can control, and you want it to be like the lowest, like that you can, because when you bring like some sounds into the journey, me, I like also to do transition, like it's melting the soundscape and the landscape are melting into each other. So it's really like to mix and to be subtle with the transition that you can hold. I can show also the app, the drum machine also, that is called Patterning. It's really fun, and you access it. It's like a circle. You can create a rhythmic loop through this, and here you will see you have different elements of the rhythm that you can deconstruct. you don't have to be complicated, and everyone will find his own way to do stuff. And I love also the story about Gra, how she was explaining it. It takes time, you know, so don't rush the different steps. Maybe it can look like it's too much for now, but you can like write down the names of the app. And how I did start to do that, it was after being practicing in Logic Pro. So you have terminologies like effects, reverb, you have different terminology that are common. It's just a matter of it is organized differently in every app. So don't be afraid, and just I explore one app at a time, and you will see it's not that complicated, and you can find your own system. Just let your body not being afraid, and hold the complexity also is good to teach your body to hold more dimensions. So maybe also I can show you how to bring, like here I have the possibility to bring a file player. So a file player which I will link and connect to my library. So I've organized my library here, and I know that in this folder I have like all the music that I'm writing, or on the iPad that I've been recording, or the sound that I've been creating through Logic Pro, because now it's the final step for me. So now showing it like right now is really the end for me of the process. Logic Pro was really the beginning and the easiest way to get to hold the playlist. So here I can bring like some sound that I've been also creating, and here you can see you have the loop options, and you can also slow down the vibration, like I will show it later, but with the option rate. Okay, rate will affect the tempo. Also, one thing that is really important, if you want to link and synchronize all the app, and with or without AUM, you will find in every app, normally in most of the app nowadays and on the market, you will have the Ableton Link option. Ableton Link proposed this option for you to synchronize the tempo and the clock of every app. Okay, so if you are slowing down like a synthesizer or the drum machine, it will affect all the apps that are connected to through this link. Okay, it has nothing to do really with the DAW Ableton. It's just a feature that Ableton is offering. Okay, so okay, maybe I can show some something in the apps now. The only thing, yeah, for me, AUM, if you want to write it down, is really the advantage of the benefits of this app is to modulate the volumes, okay, to mix the volume and the different channels together, okay, and you can bring as many channels as you want, and also, and I will show it in a second step. I also layer like the themes or the audio tracks with an effect, okay, to bring deconstruction and distortion. So if I start with Photo 4, I will bring it a little bit like louder. Okay, so Photo 4 is really simple. Okay, and you want to find on the synthesizer also the option hold. Okay, it's a small lock. You can start, and this is creating like a string of vibration, a thread of vibration that can be held like during the whole session. Okay, so if I want to switch, this one doesn't have the logo AUM, but you can come back. Okay, let's say this is like a delta sound, and I want to bring like some like more like weird like so I just activated the file player. Okay, I think play up there, and then I can play player. I can make it like really sound effect is coming up. What you can do while you're advancing and journeying through the playlist, you can bring it like upper and upper and upper. If you want to start with the drum machine also, it's too loud. I hear it like a bit. So if you want to see if it's saturating also, you don't want to go into the red. Like you have this upper scale, like at the top of the app. And if you are into the red color, it's like it's too much because sometimes we don't hear it like when we are in the live environment. So if you see red, you can put it a bit down, okay? But you will adjust it like as you go to the. So we can start with some percussion. You press play. We can create stuff. Now we cannot hear anything. Okay, you feel. You can also close your eyes and if you prefer, like that the call will be recorded. So one by one, you can create a sound. Like I'm not an expert, I'm not a producer. I'm just like super new beginners to that, but I found it fun because you can create like a endless loop to it, and you can add elements. Or like you can tweak the volume directly. More intensity. Okay, I think that you can slow things down. Okay. Let's see something with So I like to. Do you hear me well? The sound. And now do you hear me better? Okay, I will work like slower. Otherwise, you will not understand anything. It doesn't work. Okay, so what I wanted to show you. Sorry, that's not there. Okay, I lost the thread. No. Okay, so Shum is interesting also because you see the colors. You have 3 kind of layers, and you have all the notes like the keys, and that are correspondent to some colors. So you can activate your oscillators, different oscillators. Like you can choose. Okay, you can choose the parameters, the type of sound that you want to activate. So the more you will bring it up, the more it will sound like louder. If you want to change, it's more experimental. So if you know a bit of music theory, right now I don't do anything about that. I don't care about any harmony. Harmony are the chords, and you can act in space, and melody is more the sequence, and you can act like in time. So if you don't want to use like Shum anymore, just like put it down. And what is interesting also in AUM, it's you can take out the apps. Okay. Yes, I was in Synth Audio Kit. So you hear something? Yeah. And you can tweak like what is interesting. You can tweak like I can take out like the machine and also the sound. So you have many ways to stop and bring in like some vibrations and take it out, you know. So it's like not only horizontal or vertical. You have many ways to do it. So I'm gonna try like to distortion. You can touch the resonance and the frequency, and you will affect You see what is interesting in that you can see the way. If I change, like I go in my saved user, it's for the favorite, like what you saved like previously, if you like to work like that. I like also this one. And it's really deep. You want to like a sense of a relief and play like that because they work with arpeggios, so they already have like music written in it, so you don't have to think too much about it. And you can also play with the You see the wave is affected when I touch the modulation. You can bring also different the oscillator and change the waves also. And distortion with glide and put some noise also. This is really weird. Also people will get lost, you know? And then you will that's a bit creepy. That's weird. You can play like with one sound and you can hold it like for a lot of time. I like to, for instance, to start the live session with my noise. If I want to do a demo, I will use this app in particular because it holds like something, you know, it's like the simple thing, simple sound and frequency that people can in the demo are really vulnerable and they are really open, and the trust is at the most, and the fear also is really high. So only using like even like a Tibetan bowl or just the Minos app, you know, you can run the Minos app like besides. But use this. If I press waveness. It's like opening the space with like some vibration like delta and really like relaxing stuff. Like for me it's like a bad spaciousness. Like I see the sound, I see a lot of images also, and I imagine I'm trying to remember that I cannot like talk at the same time, sorry. It's about a spaciousness, also about time, but I see the sound, like I see images, I see sceneries. Often when I hang out with my husband in the studio, I try to explain him like the sound and through images. So I do a translation kind of. This is how my brain is wired, and so I create like a soundscape and dreamscapes. It's like visiting different spaces. You can use the 12 stages. You can use the sleep stages. It's all about the same. It's just 12 stages will like allow you to understand more what you are doing and contain more. And once you gain like enough like confidence, you can open up and maybe try like wilder stuff. So yeah, I can put this, and I like also to bring distortions to the apps through glitch. This is an effect, an app and on its own. So we will see that. Because now here you can bring like some effects. So here I know that I want to bring glitchcore, and if I want to layer another effect, like such as a reverb, like that is really opening the sound, creating like a like yes, it's a reverberation, so you will feel like straight the difference normally. Not this one. I can replace it. I prefer to use normally this one, like change also the sound. In Photo4, I change the wave, which is interesting for me because The sine wave is more like a softer, it brings like more delta, dreamy space. And the pulse wave, like our triangle wave, sawtooth, are more aggressive. So if you want to trigger people also, it can be a good way to do that. The discipline is more aggressive. And if I want to modify it, bring some glitches, I will use this. And start to hear it. Then I go back to the normal. I can select like just the part that I want to lift. But on this like synthesizer, you cannot hear it like so. Now you see the reverb is actually making like sound. I will change it for sine wave. Okay. So maybe if I bring like a voice, I like to use the Ash dialogue of between a Pi and Ash. So I will choose it through my library. It's here, and you have voices. I have a like folder with voices. And I like to loop it. And I can also slow it down.
Speak from the first moment. The dialogue.
It's longer than in this.
You were the voice of my ego.
Okay.
And the movements.
So I bring some.
It's like the movement preempted what you were going to say. Which made me realize that it's already in the unconscious, the unspoken,
Can reverse it? And then you go back to normal. So you can deconstruct also the voice. It's the deconstruct the voice, and sorry, need to slow it down. And hold like minors like sceneries through diverse like association with the water elements, and you can bring also animals. You can bring monks. It's really minors. I really like it, and as Krause was saying, I like to use like some 2 channels. It's really deep and really powerful. And sometimes you always have the more like slower vibration on the left in my noise, and the faster and the, how do we say it in English, like the highest vibration on the right and the lowest on the left. Okay, so in the middle you will have the middle space also. So
space. And because that was the one that was listening, it took over the other system.
Quite so paradoxical. It's as though when you give a voice to the ego, because the ego was talking, I need to sit with it for a while.
So right now you're still both of it. You're still speaking from it.
Yeah.
There's still the awareness of both of you integrated. Because now you're sensing the structure. So everything that is ever said holds your space every day. You enter the room, you will tell what because you are the room.
But I was not aware that I am the room. I never allowed myself to experience the room. The room never experienced itself. Trying to make sense. But it was so phenomenal to see the workings of the mind. My God, it's like,
Welcome to the actual structure of the true meditation. It has nothing to do with emptying. No. Everyone's actually been doing the opposite. This is meditation.
yeah, this is true meditation. This is the absolute truth.
This is the true yoga. Look at the movements. They approach it through form that they hope they will flow, but when flow awakens from within, now we see the relationship between the movement and thought.
And help me to understand it because I caught it so many times that the movement preceded the thought.
Okay. So that was like just like to show how you can combine your different vibration and different apps. What we cannot do really in my noise is to be subtle when we launch a landscape. If it sometimes it's like the channels are really high, so as Gra was saying with DJ Pro, it's the same kind of problem. Like when the sound is coming in, is like wow, exploding. So sometimes you prefer to be subtle than really disrupt or trigger people. But it's really, really, really nice, really perfect app and really quality stuff also. Sound wise, Stefan is going to the nature, and all the sound that are in the app are the reflection of his work and his time like spent in the nature. So it's really, there is really something like genuine and really like organic in this app. And also I like Sophie said, like to have the sound of the babbling, sound of the coffee, and sound of the city, sound of the nature, because all the bodies are made of different like combinations. So just to resume and to not be to spend too much time on AUM, because it can be like at the beginning like a sort of headache. It's a paid app. I paid it like back in the days, like 2 years ago, like 20 euros something, but it's really like worth it, because you can organize sounds in time and space. Also you can bring different layers, and I didn't like bring all the apps together, because you don't need to have like too many apps. How did I found it? Is like I was like exploring on the internet the different ways to produce music. Because I was like, okay, there are so much apps on the market. So how can I start with? We all started with a synth one, which is free, a Launchpad, which has like the free part and free version. You don't have to buy every sample pack if you don't have the budget, but you can start simple and really like with not so much cost. Also like to train and to be sure, do I want to buy this app? Because the reverbs, this was not so good demonstration about the reverb, but you need to pay also for this. So at the end of the day, you have like a bit like that. So if you don't want to invest too much of money, start like slow. Photo4, for instance, is like a paid paid app, like which is costs like 3 or 4 euros. AudioSynth is free. I don't know about the synth that Grab presented, but there is another one also, Animoog. Yeah, it has like a free version and also like paid version. So you can like explore and go slowly. Just retain that in AUM you can control the volumes, okay, like this. You can also bring like tracks, songs in it. You can bring your own voices like that you have recorded, or samples that you like. For instance, no, I don't have it on my iPad, because the iPad, one thing also important that I do is I work in the WAV format, because MP3 is really compressing the sound, and you lose a lot of texture and a lot of precision if you work in WAV. It's gonna take more space in your iPad and in your computer, but the quality would be much better. Actually, right now I'm like working with my husband to like mix and master like my playlist that I'm doing live now, and with the sound that I've been creating through Logic Pro, because we cannot use MyNoise. I created a lot of playlists with MyNoise, but I cannot even offer it. So next week on the 22nd, I will show you simple ways to create sound. Even if you are not a pro, you don't need to know anything of music or be a pro or producer. If you understand how to do it, you can do it. I think maybe in Audacity, Ableton, and some other DAW. It allows you to create your own library, your own sound. And what I use during the session is my voice. Also, the voice is coming up. Analog instrument like cuencos, like Tibetan bowls, and you have lot of as also Flora. I really love the Flora workshop pop up on the voice, because she was mentioning that everything can be an instrument. You know, I started creating like my playlist at home, but once I was in there holding a session, I was just playing it, and not just playing it, but channeling it like before things happen. And I was using like a lot of like anything I could find on the floor, like a bottle of water. I was shaking, like floor was saying, like this. Just be creative, and the tools sometimes it like looks complicated, but once you dedicate like a little bit of time to it, you will see it's not that complicated. You will find like the common like things that you can navigate with and trick, which are the filters, which are the effect, the slowing down, speeding up also. Gra has shown it like in the DJ app. So it's like just another way to do it, the kind of same things. DJ Pro is really good for the mixing and texture also, and you can really tweak like the sound like live without bringing all the channels together. But if you want, for instance, hold AUM, you want a delta wave, gamma wave, and use minors on top, here you have a playlist, you know, and you can play with the volumes around and effects, and so so maybe this one is a bit more not complicated, but it can come like afterwards. Depends on your interest and how do you want to train your body. So yes, the My Noise app gives like also continuity, either if you use like the DJ Pro. If you need to change a track, like have like the My Noise in the background, so you can always have like a safe kind of space. But also silence is interesting, as playing with the contrast with the room. If it's really noisy and then it's silence, so it can create also something in the body. So okay, so thank you for listening. I hope it was clear and not too boring for you. Okay, and if you have question about anything, you can ask whatever you want. Thank you so much.
For the sake of, I think there were two questions, and I think maybe the people who asked, they are not in the room anymore, but since this will be recorded, just in case they catch up later. One question was about the library in DJ Pro. So what you need to do in order to be able to access your songs in DJ Pro, you need to download the songs either in your computer through some modes that we have. We generally download it from YouTube. So just download the songs from YouTube and then organize them in your folders. And you would need to sync your iTunes libraries with your DJ Pro or with your iTunes in your iPad. Another way would be also to download straight from the iPad. So you just from your iPad, go to YouTube, find the downloader and download the songs there and organize them there in any fashion. DJ Pro will then automatically just reach out to the library that you have. The other question was about recording. I think he was asking if Alm can record, Caro. I don't think he can, right? Can he record everything?
Yes, so good question. This is what I forgot to talk about, but I can. It's on. I can go back to the AUM screen, and you need to understand that My Noise doesn't goes into the AUM app. The thing is, I wrote to Stefan like 2 years ago, something like that, to know if the development will be done. He was saying no because of the license, and it was not interesting to bring minors for the pros, because AUM is more like for like a pro environment. So because I've been writing also to AUM, and they were telling me that I need to contact Stefan. So I can show you the way to record all the channels. You can select the channel that you want, and it's gonna be stored in your iPad, in the storage of your iPad. And then you can use it. You can create sounds. Sounds creation is opening up like with AUM also. So I can share. Go back to share screen. All because the iPad is like to understand is acting like a sound interface. Okay, everything that goes into the iPad will go into AUM, and you can record it. Normally, if you use a computer in a live environment like musician, you will need a sound interface to plug your computer with cables and in the output, input and output, and to connect everything like that you need to create your soundscape. But the iPad does play the role of the sound interface also. So let me share the screen. It's just here. Okay. I hope you can see it well. Okay. So let's do this, the Zoom stuff. Okay. So do you see the record like logo, like the little dot, like red dot in the top left of the left corner of the screen? This is to activate record, okay? But you need to also click on each channel that I'm doing it from the computer, sorry. I need to activate it from the iPad. So you need to activate the channel that you want to record, and the thing that is great, it's gonna record all the distortion, the glitches that you will bring, and the effect that you will bring to the session, okay? So you can launch the recording, and you see it's recording all the channels like separately. That allows you to, if you want to rework it later on in a DAW, in a digital audio workstation, in Audacity, which is free, or Logic Pro or Ableton, you are able to do that, okay? So it's interesting if you are opening up to the creation. Me, for instance, I always thought I was not a creative person all my life, okay? And thanks to Inner Dance, now I know that I'm a creative person, so I'll stop sharing here. Yeah, I've been opening up to my intuition and my really inner artist, so I'm really enjoying it right now. I was not thinking at all that I will be holding this kind of apps because it was like too geeky for me. Like I was telling to my husband, it's a headache, it's horrible, like it's like how can I do that? And I got interested in it, and I dropped my resistance, and I started to open up to the process. And through trust, you will see it's really interesting what you can birth. So you can, yes, record it through AUM, but you cannot record my noise. My noise is an exception. And Rebecca, I think sorry. I think I saw another question was about all the sound together. No, it was Jesus. Okay. We had the app you are using called AUM. Yes, I will list the app right now. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Just on the recording, the apps, yes, the apps that I sent, they all allow individual recording, which is also interesting for you to create your, for example, I want to create a set of a synthesizer, some kind of thing from this app. And then later that will be saved on your iPad, and you can use it in DJ Pro to mix with other things as well. So you can actually create your inner libraries from all of those apps and begin to use your pre-made sets already. Yeah, it's also a good opportunity to learn how to use the apps as you go. Then as okay, let's explore this app, and then you record what you are doing. Some amazing stuff comes out of it, and it's definitely something that you will want to save and use in your own playlist later on. So just like all of the apps, they have library of different settings that you can choose, so you can also make your own from all of them. So DJ Pro also allows you to record only the 4 songs, the 4 tracks that you are playing. This is why, like, once I started shifting from lyrics, from songs with lyrics to sounds from synthesizers and launchpads, I started recording from the launchpad and then adding it to a slot in the DJ Pro, so I could have the synthesizers recorded on my playlists. Nowadays, because I have many apps at the same time, what I do to record, because I don't use AUM and I don't have a recorder, so what I do is that I connect my iPad to one of the DAWs, which the one that I have is called Bitwig. So I'm pretty sure you can do it with Ableton, with Logic Pro as well. I'm not sure. I will try to do with Audacity, but I'm not sure it will do, because Audacity is kind of like old school. once you see the platform, the feature, you say, okay, this is old school compared with the other ones. So I'm not sure Audacity would have that capacity, but what I do is that I connect the iPad to this DAW, and then everything that comes from the iPad becomes only one track. So any sounds that I'm making, my noise or all of the other crazy stuff, it all comes in as one playlist. And then you are able to record it and save it as a playlist. This means that you wouldn't be able to change all of the aspects of the song. You would have just an entire playlist. If you want, for example, to use your iPad or your cell phone, the synthesizers that you have there, to record something on Logic Pro or Bitwig or Ableton, you can do that. So you would just connect your iPad to your DAW and then do the track that you want, record that specific track as well. So this way you would have different things and you would be able to control all of the elements. But of course, that will be more work. That will be something more like more extensive work to be doing. They are all valid, they are all interesting, and what I take the most from everything that we do with the playlist is the witnessing of how our brain changes. So in my process, especially, I don't know if especially, I have a guess that especially because I was in aphasia when I started doing this work and all of this. So I was coming from this place of space, really deep space and deconstruction and nothingness, and my mind or my body mind actually grew and developed in a very different way as well because of the playlist. So all of the structure that we think is not there when we create chaos with the sound, there is the structure, there is the structure there innate to our own way of thinking, of being and feeling. All of that kind of held a very good mirror for my process. So I enjoy it and I still enjoy it, and I'm pretty sure that there are more adventures to come. The music nowadays is very different from when I started this process, and it's pretty much very different from when older facilitators started. So I'm curious as to where this is going, where we are going, because it's also like, where is this brain taking us in many ways. So yes, thank you for being here, for holding this, and for actually like wanting to look at your brain changing itself, like, and being a part of the process, not just being like the passive one, but actually witnessing as it happens and having these deep conversations with this change, with this constant process of becoming this oneness. I usually feel that the brain is the one, and we're here talking to the one when we're doing this, and also allowing the one to speak with us. So yeah, I don't know if Sophie and Carol want to say anything more, but yeah.
Yes, actually, I had like one or two more apps to show that are super fun and like maybe more accessible if you still have like a headspace available for 5 minutes. And I do really agree a lot like with what you just said. Like it's changing a lot and changing so fast. I thought like coming from the 12 stages. Framework and model, I will not be able to change to take it in my body, and I got really surprised. So don't be like scared by the unknown. I can share like really briefly this because these ones are like super accessible. It's Sound Prism. And also there is an app called Bloom, which Pai shared with us. It's made by Brian Eno, which is a name in the music industry. Okay, let's do this. You can create like different with colors. It does work with colors. So you can just explore like this. To bring like different like pushing like more softer ambience, and I like also to use you can change. They have automated like some chords, like harmonies, like right for you guys. So you can use it like if I don't want to use it anymore, you can use it like this. If you want to open a bit the space with something softer, you can play around. You can use different tonality, different instruments. The thing that is good with these apps is you don't have to have learned instrument to play guitar, strings, cello, or different synthesizers. So they already do it for you. So just to show you this is to you can explore it later on. So yeah, thank you, and yeah, thank you for listening on love. All of this because maybe it can be a lot to take at first, but yeah, take it slow. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just want to thank you too and wish you all a very nice evening, night, or day, Gra.
Yeah. Almost daytime. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And well, whenever things are ready, we're here to hear them.
Yes, we're excited about it. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.